How you doing? It's Greg, Fisherman's Headquarters. I'm here with Teddy from the Long Beach Island Fishing Club, and we're here to help you guys out catch more fish this fall in light of the COVID-19 situation, shutting down the live fishing seminar that we put on each year for the kicking off of the Long Beach Island Surf Fishing Tournament. So here we are, looking at some fishing gear, looking to point you guys in the right direction. Whether you're new to the sport or you're a seasoned veteran, there's definitely some information here we can pick up, help you catch more fish. So Teddy, help us out today.
Well, really feel that one of the most important parts is planning the trip. In order to make sure that your trip is enjoyable and possibly successful, we want to make sure that you check the following items. It's very, very important that first and foremost, you know where you're going to be fishing. Secondly, who will you be fishing with? Young, old, special requirements. Need to take this all into consideration. We also want to let you know that planning pays, but it actually saves. In order for it to be an enjoyable trip, being prepared is the biggest part of the success. Once you're wet, you're cold. Once you're cold, you're done. So what we're trying to do here is give you a checklist, which we will publish later when this seminar hits the airwaves. What fish will you be targeting? Know the regulations, know what's running. What's the weather forecast? The everyday weather, the marine forecast. Fish Weather's a decent app. NOAA Radar is another great app. We all know that fishing rods and lightning don't mix. What are the tides and when are the tides? Personally, and Greg's going to agree with me, the best tides are dawn and dusk, period. But you should know the tides, you should know if they're normal, you should know if they're flood, you should know the moons. What are the water conditions? There's a ton of websites to check, whether it's a surfing website, whether it's a bait and tackle shop website, whether it's a borough-sponsored webcam. Very easy to get the conditions. What will you need? Let's start with the couple things that you definitely need. You definitely need to have your saltwater registry filled out and current in case you're checked by the DNR. What else are you going to need? You're going to need the appropriate permits and or beach badges, depending on the time of the year that you decide to go fishing. Equipment, tackle, bait, where am I going to stay, etc. And then, as I always like to say, what's plan B? What if it doesn't work out? What if there's grass in the water? What if your grandfather that came with you can't make the walk? What's plan B, and are you prepared for plan B? Also, what if we catch a fish? What's the legal size? What are the legal bag limits? Am I going to release the fish? Am I going to keep the fish? Do I know how to clean the fish? Do I have a place to store the fish and keep it cold? And now what we're going to do, we're going to get into some clothing, which you should be able to see in the shot, which we feel is one of the most important first steps to making your trip enjoyable. We're not going to get into winter, summer, etc. I think a lot of it's common sense, but I like starting from the head down. Got a ball cap on today. Obviously, 2 months from now, again, it's late September, I probably have a wool cap on. During the summer, I've got the traditional safari hat, keep the sun off my face, keep the sun off my neck. In the summer months, wear the neoprene booties if you're going to be doing a lot of walking and a lot of wading. Once your feet are wet and your skin is soft, very easy to get cut, even on a shell. So that takes care of the summer. Then we graduate up to, knee-high boots. Different reasons to wear knee-high boots, different purposes, different places. And then we get into some waders. Again, very important that you keep your outside protected from the elements. Various rain slickers, insulated rain slickers, rain pants. Everybody knows it's always the best to dress in layers. We're going to start with some Under Armour. The brand name, got bottoms, got a top with a turtleneck. I've got various hoodies, various polar fleece vests. It's inevitable. You're going to need 2 pair of socks. Prefer wool, much better under the circumstances than anything cotton. And as you get into the colder months, here's neoprene gloves, and before it gets that cold, here's some gloves without the fingertips to try to keep your hands warm while you're on your reel. And what we're going to do now is we're going to pop over to miscellaneous. And again, this is planning the trip so it's enjoyable regardless of whether or not you catch any fish. It's got to be enjoyable because that's what we're all about. As most of you know, bugs come in from the west. So what do we always have in our bags? We've got a couple different types of bug repellent. We've always got sunscreen. Always have a bottle of water. I like also having a bag that I dedicate to fishing. A lot of reasons you want to dedicate it to fishing. I don't think we need to get into that. Flashlights, headlights, very, 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 very important. Nobody plans on being there after dark, but it happens. You want to make sure that they're waterproof. You want to make sure that your batteries are up to snuff. We've got a picture here of the saltwater registry of a paper tide chart. Obviously, you can get all that online. Small pair of field glasses I like to have handy. I have a cooler here that I use strictly for bait. And the reason I prefer this cooler is because once it's filled with your bait and some ice or an ice pack, you can bring it with you and you can use it as a small seat. It's the cooler to have if you're going to be walking on.
So a common question that customers ask a lot at Fisherman's Headquarters is, when should I go fishing? What should I be fishing for? Where should I be fishing? So Long Beach Island offers 18 miles of awesome opportunities of fishing, whether it's spring, fall, summer, all time of year. You've got the bayfronts, you've got the beach, and you've got the inlets. Some very popular areas would be Barnegat Lighthouse State Park. There's actually a park here at Harvey Cedars where we are today, right at the water tower. There's a lot of public access all along the beach front, from Barnegat Light all the way to Holgate. As far as finding a spot to fish, not all spots are created equal. It takes a little bit of time to go out and do some reconnaissance and scout out a spot. I'm going to kind of lay down a little bit of information, some details on what a good spot on the beach may look like. So here's going to be a quick look at the ocean. We're going to show you here the beach profile, what a sandbar looks like, what a trough looks like. A lot of times fish like whitewater. You want to find sandbars. You want to find where the waves are breaking. You also want to find those deep, darker water patches that are either in front of them, behind them, alongside. Sometimes you'll have a trough that runs along shore, along the beach. Sometimes you'll have a cut in the sandbar that runs out front, east to west through the sandbar. A lot of times you also have incoming current, incoming wave action that's pushing at you. Sometimes you'll have big patches of whitewater there. So quick look at this video, you'll see some shots here of some guys fishing. You'll see some guys staged up in specific areas along that productive water, looking to target those game fish where they should be hanging out. Here's a look at a bird's eye view of a section of beach here on LBI. We can see there's a variety of features and a lot of fishy water. Here on the center part, at the bottom of the screen, you'll see a wave coming in on a large sandbar. You can see that wave pushes over the bar and that whitewater travels into that trough. These features are very important to surf fishermen. Fish use these troughs as avenues to move about. They also enter and exit those troughs through cuts or breaks in the bar. These fish will come in and hold and feed sometimes when they feel the time is right in these productive areas. As surf fishermen, we need to look out for these holes, these troughs, these sloughs, and these sandbars. This way we can spend time either bait fishing or fishing lures in those productive areas where fish will be. In the middle part of the screen, see a hole and also a cut going back out into deeper water. That's actually a very fishy area. Last spring in early June, this spot produced a number of striped bass, 2 30-pound stripers and 1 50-incher. This same spot this summer held kingfish and fluke for many months. I expect this fall there'll be fish there as well. By looking along the beach and scouting some areas and finding things like this, holes, troughs, cuts, sandbars, you too can find yourself fish. One of the beauties of Long Beach Island is we have 18 miles of open beaches. It's a great place to look around, find a couple spots, and then put some time in and target those. Using these tips, I hope that you catch a lot of fish this fall.